I know you're probably thinking, what, more notes again? But I promise you these are going to be helpful to you so that you can go back and rewatch the videos if necessary. I want you to take a minute and pause this so that you can write down the title of this. This is Writing Equations of Lines Parallel or Perpendicular to a Given Line that Passes Through a Given Point. It's going to be important that you understand the difference between when it's parallel, when it's perpendicular, and how to write those equations. So let's get started. The first one we're going to do is a parallel. And basically the wordage is going to be write an equation of a line parallel to and I'm going to give you the line. It's 2x, good grief, plus 3y equals 6. 2x plus 3y equals 6. And passes through the point 9, 8. So the first thing you need to really notice is the word parallel. Parallel indicates that we need to get our equation that they give us into y equals mx plus b form and extract the slope. So down here, the first thing I need to do is extract the slope. And in order to do that, I need the m, or slope-intercept form. So I'm going to do 2x plus 3y equals 6. And I'm going to get this in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to move the x over by subtracting it. This gives me 3y equals negative 2x plus 6. Then I'm going to divide everything through by 3. I'm getting the slope for us to use in this equation. Okay, now the only part that I really need from this entire equation is the m, which means that the only part that I need to look at in this equation is this negative 2/3. That's the only part that I need. And parallel lines have equal slopes. That means that I'm going to use the negative 2/3. I'm not going to change it in any way. Now that I have my m, I'm going to take my y equals mx plus b. I'm going to substitute my slope in for m. And I'm going to use the coordinate they give me for x and y. I'm going to plug my x coordinate and my y coordinate in like we did on the other ones. Remember that 9 is the x and 8 is the y, and we are solving for b. Don't forget that 9 is really over 1, and when you go to simplify this equation, you're going to do negative 2 times 9, which is negative 18, and then you're going to put that over 3 times 1, which is 3. Can this reduce? Absolutely. This is 8 equals negative 6 plus b. And then I'm going to add 6 to the other side to get b alone. B equals 14. So now I have my m, I have my b, and I'm ready to write my final equation. Now my final equation is going to use this slope and this y-intercept. And I'm going to make an equation with this slope and this y-intercept. My final answer for this equation is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 14. That is the answer to my question. So that one was kind of foo-foo. That was nice and easy. Everything worked out pretty. Now we need to take a look at a messy one. So what we're going to do is transition to perpendicular. This one says find the equation of the line perpendicular to 3x minus 2y equals 6. Make sure you're writing that correctly. And passes through negative 10, 4. I don't know if I gave myself enough space. I certainly hope so. Okay, so what we're going to do is remember that when you're writing an equation of a line, you need to go into y equals mx plus b mode. The thing that you need to look at, though, is the fact that this says perpendicular. And perpendicular means that you need to extract the slope from this equation and take the negative reciprocal. So write yourself a note. Don't forget to do the negative reciprocal slope on this equation. So I'm going to start with m. I need to put this into mx plus b form. I'm going to move the x over by subtracting the x term. I get negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. I'm going to divide everything through by negative 2. Very important that you pay attention to that negative.
Good afternoon, everybody. If I could just have your attention for about 30 seconds before you wrap up.
We're going to divide everything through by negative 2 and get y equals, now a negative over a negative here is going to turn positive. So I actually have a 3 over 2x, and 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. But this is not the slope I want. Remember that I need to take this slope, extract it, and do the negative reciprocal slope. That means that I'm going to take this one. I need to take the opposite sign. So this is a positive. So I need to change this. I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to change this to a negative and flip it. So that's going to be 2/3. This is my new slope. This is the slope that I am going to use in my equation. So when it says perpendicular, you're going to find the slope of the line that they give you. You need to change the sign and flip it. Now we're going to use this slope in our y equals mx plus b equation. So here we go. We've got y equals mx plus b. I'm putting this slope, the perpendicular slope, in for m. And I'm going to put the x coordinate in, which is negative 10. And I'm going to put the y coordinate in, which is 4. And I have plus b. I can already tell this is going to be nasty. So make sure you're being real careful with your math. Put your negative 10 over 1 and do your multiplication across. Negative 2 times negative 10 is positive 20. And 3 times 1 is 3. Remember that what we want to do is we want to clear out that fraction. So we're going to multiply everything through by 3. That's going to give us 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 20 is 60. 60 divided by 3 is 20 again. Remember, those cancel. And 3 times b is 3b. We're going to subtract that 20 over to get b by itself. Ooh, I hope I have enough space. Negative 8. Squish. Divide by 3. And b is negative 8/3. That's the b that I'm using in my equation. So this is the m, and this is the b, and now we're going to write the finale. This is the final answer. I'm going to put it in red right here so you can see what the answer to the question is. The equation of the line that is perpendicular to this guy that passes through this point is y equals negative 2/3 x minus 8/3. This is the answer to your question. If you have questions on how to do parallel or perpendicular, go back through the video or contact your teacher with questions.